Commentary. The game at the GTech Community Stadium has just got underway. Brentford are taking on Bournemouth, and a long ball straight away down the left-hand side here. One for Truffert to chase, but Kelleher will come out and make the save. So it's two sides that are certainly better going forward than they are defensively. Brentford have been very good at home, barring the last game at home to Leeds, but they were a little bit off colour. But then they did have a solid performance away to Wolves last weekend. Bournemouth have become draw specialists recently, but that said, of course, they had that crazy game against Manchester United before Christmas, which ended up finishing 4-4. So it's myself, Paul Szczerbakowicz, and Eirik Stangnes taking you through the action. Eirik, we should be seeing goals in this one.
Yeah, I think we should be seeing goals, and I think it's Brentford fantastic at home, Bournemouth exciting team. But they're in terrible form. They haven't won in 8, drawn a lot of games. But they're going forward now with Semenyo. And with a player like Semenyo, it's just always dangerous. And it's just outside the box. And his first shot straight on goal.
It's far too easy. I mean, Semenyo picks the ball up around about the halfway line on the left-hand side. And it's not even that dancing a run. He just ghosts past a couple of Brentford players. There's absolutely no sort of resistance ahead of him, so he just carries on, and in the end he goes for goal, and it's a pretty easy saver for Kelleher. Semenyo, of course, has been on the wish list for a few teams over the last few days. There was a suggestion that Chelsea might be interested, Manchester City as well. So we'll wait and see what happens with him. But obviously he is always going to be getting interest from other clubs.
Yeah, I think, and I think he's interested in other clubs as well. He's said so. But yeah, I heard Liverpool and Man United as well. Obviously been linked to him. So. It's a really highly sort of player, but he's gone off the boil a bit of late.
That can sometimes happen as a result of the interest as well. It's the extra pressure, thinking that he's not just trying to play for his team, but potentially play for a move as well. As ball cleared up towards the halfway line, Igor Thiago chests this one down, and then it's a long ball here from Janelt straight down the middle, which is cut out by Truffert. Plays this one short towards Lewis Cook, and Bournemouth just get things under control here in midfield. Just to remind you very quickly of the two 11s. Kelleher is in goal for Brentford. Back four of Coyote, Ayer, Collins and Henry. It's Janelt and Yarmolyuk as the two holder midfielders. It's Lewis Potser, Jensen and Schade as the three ahead of them, with Igor Thiago as the front man. For Bournemouth, it is Petrovic in goal, with a back four of Smith, Diakite, Marcos Senesi and Truffert. Scott and Cook are the two holder midfielders, with Alejandro Jimenez, Tavernier and Semenyo as the attacking midfield three, playing behind Krupi. It's Brentford with the throw on the left hand side. This is one of 5 Premier League games on our service right now. Arsenal, Brighton, Burnley, Everton, Liverpool against Wolves and West Ham against Fulham are all available on our service as well. In the early game it finished Nottingham Forest 1, Manchester City 2, and still to come at 5:30 we've got Chelsea against Aston Villa as well, as Adam Smith puts the ball out for a throw. He's not happy about something here, the Bournemouth veteran. Couldn't quite see what his issue was, but of course he's been with Bournemouth since they were in League One.
Yeah, League One. He played in a 10-11 season. He was on loan, and then he's been there since 2013. Proper, almost one-club man. He started at Spurs, but it's very difficult to find from your own academy, but yeah, it's just a fantastic servant. Remember that Bournemouth team, when they got up, we had Charlie Daniels, Steve Cook and Francis. Like, they played all 4 divisions for Bournemouth.
They did, absolutely right, yeah, absolutely. And it just goes to show you still get those stories now, and as obviously teams like Wrexham will be hoping that they can be saying that about some of their players in years to come as well. But Brentford have won themselves a throw on, and it's level with the edge of the Bournemouth penalty area. So you know what this means. It's going to be Michael Coyote trying to get as much of a run up as he can to try and launch this ball into the penalty area. He's actually measuring his run as if he was like a shot putter or a javelin thrower, but now he knows exactly what he wants to do, and he's going to launch this one as far as he can into the penalty area. It's a really good long throw as well. The keeper comes out, gets a touch on it, then Jensen can't quite control it at the edge of the area. Yarmolyuk has to chase a long way back just to keep this ball in play for Brentford. It's played back towards Henry on the halfway line. Yarmolyuk again on the left-hand side, but Bournemouth have pushed out very quickly. So there's no option here for Brentford to try and play a long ball back into the Bournemouth box. It's just a bit of midfield possession, but that long throw from Coyote really is very dangerous.
Yeah, it's a long throw. It looks like it's just a casual run up as well. So it's not like it's effortlessly the way he does it. But it was good goalkeeping from Petrovic, because it's really difficult to actually get the ball away, and he managed to get it. But now Bournemouth can come again.
Good work here from Igor Thiago. He gets the ball into the box. It's clear to the edge of the area, and this effort from Yarmolyuk doesn't really get good contact with that one, and he drags it wide. But it all starts here with good work from Igor Thiago. It was a ball that really he shouldn't have won here on the right-hand side. He muscles off Adam Smith quite easily, really. And then the shot comes in from Yarmouth. It's always going wide.
Yeah, it's, as I said, fantastic work by Thiago. And the square ball out towards Yarmouth, it's brilliant. It just doesn't connect properly to the ball. It just kicks it straight into the ground, and it bubbles 10 yards wide. And but good start for Brentford. They've been on the front foot. I expect Brentford to be on the front foot, and maybe Bournemouth try to use especially Semenyo and maybe Jimenez on the other side on counter-attacks.
Well, yeah, I mean, you made the point that Brentford have been very good at home this season. They weren't particularly good against Leeds in their last game at home, and I think there was a feeling that that sort of slightly slow and slightly negative approach that Brentford have away from home had been brought home for that Leeds game for some reason. They played better away to Wolves, but that's not really a good gauge because Wolves at the moment are all over the place, so most teams should be winning home and away against them. But certainly today I think it is a test for Brentford because they are up against a side who haven't been in good form. Bournemouth haven't lost that many games recently, but as you mentioned, they haven't won any in 8. And they're trying to press here as Brentford are looking to play out from the back. Semenyo closing down there on Coyote, but he's able to go back towards Kelleher. Now with Collins over towards Henry on the left-hand side. Pressing here before Collins sends this ball up towards the halfway line, taken down by Igor Thiago. In a challenge there, he does really well to keep that ball away from Senesi, and it's a through ball here to Sharda, and Sharda muscles off Krupi. It's a tight angle, but Sharda goes for goal, and Sharda finds the back of the net. 7 minutes on the clock, and Brentford take the lead, and it's that long ball through the middle that just does Bournemouth.
Yeah, it's that work again. A good chance, and it's Thiago. He just creates that chance. Why he should never be allowed to turn him in midfield. Senesi is at his back. He needs to just foul him and not make him turn. But when he turns, the ball through towards Sharda, fantastically timed run. Never a chance of offside. It's about 2 yards onside, and the first touch from Sharda is phenomenal. He just brushes off the defender, and what a finish! Nutmeg the goalkeeper. Yeah, brilliant goal. And Thiago, what a start for him.
Yeah, the funny thing about Diakite is I think he actually is trying to use his shoulder to get Sharda away from the ball, but he ends up losing his balance more so than Sharda does. You can actually see there's more of an attempt there from Diakite to push Sharda first, but then Sharda just stays strong, and it's a good finish with his weaker left foot as well.
It's really poor defending from Diakite there, because basically you can't just go to ground there. You make sure Sharda goes to ground, because you're neck and neck. It's a yellow card if it's a free kick, I think. And so it's but Thiago, the start he's up to the game, the way it's the second time he turned in his own half, and he created another chance, and that Senesi letting him turn there, it's just terrible defending, but it's brilliant attacking play.
Yeah, it is, and a brilliant attacking play deep inside his own half as well. Yeah, that's the funny thing about that is it was a long baller from a long way out, cutting right through that Bournemouth defence. As I say, there's always two sides to everything on a football field. It's one thing to say you hold a high line to stop the other team from playing, but then if you lose the ball and then that other team can play through your high line, well then you've got no defence at all then, have you?
Basically, with that high line then, Thiago can't be allowed to turn. Basically, that is just make him play the ball back to a goalkeeper and make them pass it in their own half, but don't let him turn for the pass, because it's terrible defending, but brilliant run from Sharda. It's a classic run from behind.
No, absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's as you say with the way that Igor Thiago was able to thread that ball through. But you only have to speak to Tottenham fans last season about Ange Ball in terms of playing a very high line. There are plus sides to it, but there are definitely downsides to it as well. And as I said, we've seen that over the years with Brentford playing a high line themselves. We've seen that with Brentford sending all 10 outfield players up for set pieces and then having nobody on the halfway line. So there are teams that make these mistakes almost every week. But it is the first goal we've had this afternoon. No goals elsewhere so far in the 3 o'clock kickoffs. Brentford making a bit of a mess of playing out from the back. Under pressure there, being closed down. In the end, had to just clear that ball before Krupi dispossessed him. It's out for a throw to Bournemouth now on the left-hand side. Yeah, it's
just hesitating. And Krupi is very energetic on the left-hand side. Managed to get that throw in, and Semenyo now will throw a long throw into the box. I think we can see a lot of goalmouth action with the balls into the 6-yard line box.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be Semenyo with a long throw. It's a good long throw as well. The ball is cleared to the edge of the area. There's a Brentford player down, Coyote, but Peter Banks, the referee, saying there's no foul. Semenyo's ball into the box is just over the head of Krupi, and now Jensen leaves this ball for Sharda, who wants to go through the middle, but he runs straight into Lewis Cook. Bournemouth have it back now at the edge of the area here with Tavernier. He goes out towards the left-hand side. No options here for Senesi, so he plays it straight back to Tavernier. There is an overlap from Truffert, but Tavernier goes alone right towards the edge of the area, being marshalled there by Janel. Senesi's ball into the box, and it's Semenyo now trying to turn, but it was just a little bit too much of a bounce on that one. He couldn't control it, and now a long ball is played through, and this one's going to get through to Igor Thiago. He's got there ahead of Diakite. He's going to go alone here, Igor Thiago. The angle is tight. Oh, it's such a tame effort in the end. And he just rolls that to the goalkeeper. That really should be 2-0. Igor Thiago wants to score the goal himself. He could have passed to Jensen as well, but in the end, it's a shot straight at the goalkeeper.
Yeah, and again, the ball over the top. It's almost like a clearance up towards Thiago, and it's 1-on-1. And even I think that's initially a better chance than the Charlotte chance. But yeah, it just hesitates, and it's a tame shot straight to the goalkeeper. But if it's squared to Jensen on the right hand side, because Jensen he had a bit of grass in front of him, and it wasn't marked. But problem is, it has to be a really good pass. If it's a poor pass, it has to be 3-4 yards in front of
it. It does. No, you're absolutely right. But we'll see again. It's Coyote clearing this ball. I mean, where is the Bournemouth team? It's just like it's one clearance from the Brentford penalty area, and it just cuts through the entire field. Finds Igor Thiago. The mistake he makes is then that when he cuts back away from Diakite, he's lost all of his momentum then, and it's just a very tame effort at the goalkeeper.
But again, the defending from Diakite is terrible. I don't think
Well, at least he stood his ground a little bit more this time than with the goal.
But it's goal side, and they shouldn't let Thiago have a shot on goal there, or at least dive in and try and block the shot, because there was a free shot in the end. It's just a poor shot.
It is. No, that is true. And from Diakite's point of view, if he's having a bad day, this is something that Brentford might try and exploit, because the long ball is played now towards Igor Thiago, takes it down on the chest, leaves it for Sharda. He then rolls it out towards the left-hand side here for Rico Henry. Sharda's been taken out, but the referee says play on, and Henry's ball into the box is taken down here by Lewis Potter. Then it's with Jensen. Jensen goes for goal from 30 yards. It was a very tame shot, which was easily charged down. Brentford have the ball back here in midfield, though, with Janel to Sharda. Now played back towards Nathan Collins, just at the edge of the centre circle. 12.5 minutes on the clock. Brentford 1, Bournemouth 0. The visitors have been just a little bit shell-shocked by that early goal. A long ball now down the left-hand side. This is really good work. Henry into the box. He couldn't quite finish the move himself. It's now with Jan Moljak. He plays it in towards Jensen. Coyote now on the right-hand side, being marshalled here by Semenyo, and Semenyo fouls Michael Coyote. Don't think there was too much in that. I think that Semenyo's trying to argue that he wasn't actually doing anything wrong. But the linesman was right there, and it's a free kick to Brentford.
Yeah, free kick in a really good position, and basically that's just quite a long attack by Brentford. It's a bit of shirt pull on Coyote there from.
He tripped him a little bit as well.
Yeah, I think the free kick is okay. It's soft. I don't think Semenyo really meant to do it, but they're all over the place in their defence so far, Bournemouth, and you can almost sense that this is a team that haven't won in 8 games. They conceded last minute against Burnley. They were completely bossing the game against Burnley, created very few chances, and managed to eventually lose 2 points in the last minute against Burnley. So the terrible form, Bournemouth, and they are looking further down towards relegation zone now, not the Champions League spots.
That's true. I mean, I still think that the 3 sides that are down there are in real serious trouble, but for the time being, Bournemouth, I think, about 8 or 9 points clear of relegation at the start of play. As a free kick comes in from Janel, it's glanced past the post. It's Ayer with the header. He's not too far away. I think he just needs to get a little bit more contact off the forehead, and it would have gone on. He just glances at that one, and in the end it goes past the post.
Yeah, Petrovic again goes out. It's in no man's land, and it's not far off the far post. So obviously the goalkeeper makes it an easy goal if it's on target. The first throw in, Petrovic managed to get through the ball. It wasn't convincing, but he managed to get it out over the danger zone. This time it's not good goalkeeping, and Brentford could easily be 2 up now.
They could be. Well, there's another side from the south coast that are playing in London today, and they're losing as well now, because it's Arsenal 1, Brighton 0. And it's Odegaard with the goal for the Gunners in that one. So 1-0 to Arsenal against Brighton. Both Brighton and Bournemouth actually having a slightly, perhaps sort of weaker seasons than what they would expect. Another chance here for Brentford, but Igor Thiago was always offside. I don't think he ever even went back into an onside position. So yeah, it's an interesting, wasn't it? With Bournemouth and Brighton, the expectations always high. The style of play is still very good, but just the results haven't been that good this season.
Well, Bournemouth started fantastically, and they were my wildcard tip for a top 5 finish early on, and obviously I don't think that can happen anymore. But they need to have a really good run. But they were so exciting to watch, but they are missing, just missing a bit of spark. They're missing a bit of midfield control. Neither of the midfield players. And don't make a mistake with Diakite again.
Diakite again. Goodness me. Diakite controls the ball. It's absolutely fun. I mean, Diakite controls the ball. Jensen then takes it off him. Diakite then takes it back and then gives it straight back to Jensen again. It's an unbelievable little moment there, but in the end, it's not even a shot from Jensen. The ball just deflects off him.
I mean, the first one, it just hits Jensen. He doesn't know about it. It's just terrible defending.
The second one hits his foot. He didn't even know about that one either.
It's just awful defending.
Yeah.
Bournemouth going forward now.
They are, but Diakite's having a bit of a tough afternoon. But Bournemouth trying to turn things around at the other end. The pass at the edge of the area from Krupi is deflected and cleared up towards the half. And that's going to be a free kick against Igor Thiago. He's just smashed into Marcos Senesi there. As the Brazilian looks a little bit confused by all of this. I think Peter Banks is just going to call him over. Just have a quick word. Don't think there's any suggestion of a yellow card, but I think he just wants to make Igor Thiago aware that he's got to be a little bit more careful. But Igor Thiago is saying, well, he's got to be careful as well.
Yeah, well, I think Thiago there is effectively just running straight into it. It's a clear foul.
Yeah,
and it's almost like Senesi's not there. So it's the...
he looks at Senesi, though. He knows exactly where Senesi is. That foul is for later on in the game to try and get Senesi away from him, to try and perhaps intimidate him a little bit.
Well, he's done okay already for that.
Yes, he certainly has. As Bournemouth lose the ball having taken that free kick quickly. Now it's Yarmoliuk playing the ball down the right-hand side for Jensen. Jensen into the 6-yard box. That's much better from Diakite. But then the ball cleared straight to Schade. Schade goes for goal twice, and it's blocked the first time and then saved the second time. Well, Bournemouth are doing some crazy things in defence. They're also doing some amazing things to try and stop that mistake, then costing them another goal.
Yeah, it's an unbelievable chance against the first cross by Jensen, and then it's an awful clearance. Senesi again, and Schade twice got a chance to put the ball in the back of the net with a shot inside the box. He should have done better there, but the defensive clearances from Bournemouth,
Senesi would have been better just rolling that out for a corner, than what he did there. I mean, he's just... And actually, the way that Bournemouth are playing now, I think Brentford have got to try and push for a second goal, because Bournemouth look a little bit... they just look disjointed at the moment. They're not really getting things going in attack. They're making it too easy for Brentford in defence. So you can't imagine that Bournemouth are going to play the entire 90 minutes like this. But now Semenyo's lost the ball inside his own half. Jensen to Janelt, and now it's Yarmoliuk down the right-hand side. Coyote heading towards the edge of the area, puts an early bouncing ball into the box. And this time, Diakite is in the right place, and he does the right thing as well, just guides that ball out for a corner.
I think Bournemouth it's come to the stage where the goalkeeper needs to be injured or getting a bit of a team talk, as you know they're doing. They're completely on the ropes at the moment, and the press, the intensity from Bournemouth and from Brentford is just phenomenal. And that's from the team talk. Basically, they know they're playing against a team that's totally out of form, and put them under pressure, which Brentford are doing.
Well, they're out of form, but they scored 4 goals at Old Trafford in 5 days ago. I mean, this is a team that can play, and although admittedly they conceded 4 goals in that same game as well, but certainly they just don't look like they've got much of a backbone today so far. And whether or not Brentford can capitalise, as Jensen takes a short corner just to the edge of the area for Janelt, then it's back to Jensen. Jensen with a dummy. He should have crossed that ball in twice, but he plays it back to Janelt. Now it's with Rico Henry. He then looks up and floats the ball towards the edge of the area on the left-hand side, and it sails out for a goal kick. It's an absolutely horrendous corner from Brentford. Jensen could have crossed that twice, and he didn't, and in the end it's just a wasted ball from Henry.
I think initially it's a good short corner to Jensen, because Jensen have got all the space in the world to put the ball into the danger zone, but it's almost like he stumbles a bit before he gets the chance to cross it, and then he passes it back, and it ends up what should have been a fantastic crossing opportunity from Jensen ends up with a poor cross from Henry.
It was more of a floaty ball, really, rather than even a cross. It wasn't really directed at anyone in particular. But Bournemouth, from their goal kick, get to the halfway line, they lose the ball. Nice bit of play there from Igor Thiago just to keep the ball alive. And now it's Yarmolenko playing it outside towards Coyote, breaking into the penalty area. Michael Coyote down the right-hand side. He goes for goal this time. His effort is blocked by Senesi. Jensen recycles that, goes back to Coyote on the right-hand side. And now Yarmolenko stands a high cross into too high. It's a good save in the end there for Petrovic, but it was at the right height for the goalkeeper. Doesn't waste any time. He rolls this one out to Adam Smith straight away because Bournemouth need to go up the other end, but they're almost in trouble there with Jimenez turning. He does in the end roll that ball straight into an opposition player. Now Igor Thiago at the edge of the area finding Jensen. It's cleared by Scott, but the second ball is straight back with Brentford again. Bournemouth just can't buy a break at the minute with Yarmolenko and Lewis Potter now hooking up on the right-hand side. It's played back towards Jensen, and Coyote just slowing things down, playing it back to the halfway line. But if anything, as I say, it's almost a little bit too easy for Brentford. I think they're even surprised with how Bournemouth are just not really doing anything at the moment.
Bournemouth, they're obviously man-to-man pressed in midfield, and Brentford doing a phenomenal job. But take nothing away from some of the combination play from Brentford has been absolutely superb. And Igor Thiago had the way he turned again and managed to just play the ball through a couple of defenders. Really quick feet. Thiago, I'm really impressed with him so far. Although he should probably have had a goal, or at least a better shot.
Yes, I agree. I think he's had an opportunity, at least one opportunity to get on the score sheet himself, and if not, he would have had the easiest assist for Jensen. But that opportunity in general should have been that chance should have been taken by Brentford for sure. Here come Bournemouth now though, with Jimenez trying to start something. That's a good ball to the edge of the area to find Tavernier ball into the 6-yard box. And there was just a little bit of indecision there from Aya before in the end he does make sure it goes out for a corner.
Yeah, I think it's a problem, and he didn't really need to put it out for a corner because he's totally on his own. He could actually control it, but safety first, I suppose, in those situations. So it's not really a mistake by Aya as such, but corner kick, and then Bournemouth need the set piece. They need just to calm things down and see if they manage to get some sustained attacking play after.
No, absolutely, but this is a good opportunity because we know that Tavernier has got an excellent left foot on him, and we also know that Koeman Kelleher is not the best goalkeeper when it comes to crosses. So we'll see as Tavernier whips this one in. It's just over the head of Lewis Cook. That was the intended target. The ball is gone all the way back towards the halfway line with the last man back for Bournemouth. Adam Smith has just sent a huge high ball towards the edge of the area. It's taken down by Tavernier. He drops the shoulder, drives into the penalty area. His ball was aimed at Krupi, but it's blocked by Aya. A bouncing ball then goes out for another corner to Bournemouth.
Yeah, it's better from Bournemouth to actually manage to win the second ball, and it actually didn't get counted on straight away from Brentford this time. So the second corner of the game, and yes, a sort of not half chances. It's a chance to create a chance they've had lately. So another in-swinging corner this from Tavernier.
Tavernier standing over it. Left footer from the right hand side. He's going to put a lot of in-swing into this. No, he's not. He's played a short ball towards the edge of the area. And then it's Jimenez who's played it square to Lewis Cook. Cook then goes for goal from 30 yards. And the referee almost got in his way as well, and the shot is charged down. That's another example of a corner kick being made far more complicated than it needed to be. Yeah,
and when the ball is passed to Lewis Cook, he has to sort of swerve around the referee. But the referee is just... it's not in the way. It's just he has to be.
He's not expecting the ball to go there from a corner
exactly.
either, is he?
He's in the right position. But they do have a throw in on the left-hand side now.
Yeah, they do, and we know what that means. Absolutely, it's a long throw from Semenyo, which is aimed at Senesi at the edge of the 6-yard box. But that one is cleared back into midfield. Smith again is the last man back for Bournemouth. He finds a Semenyo on the left-hand side. He's got Trufair there for support as well. That's where the ball has gone. Trufair being closed down by Igor Thiago. Plays it back to Lewis Cook. Square now to it's Adam Smith on the right-hand side. Looks up and can't quite find a teammate. Senesi was still up there after the initial corner kick and throw on, but Brentford now have it back, so Senesi needs to start getting back as well as Henry rolls it back towards Kelleher. It's not the best clearance from Kelleher, but it does reach the halfway line where Igor Thiago takes it down. Lewis Potter then slices that ball up in the air. It won't get through towards Matthias Jensen. But ball back here now with Nathan Collins, who then just lobs the ball up in the air. But it's effective. It does get through towards Igor Thiago. Both him and Semenyo are fighting for it, and in the end the decision has been given the way of Brentford. So it's still goalless everywhere else, Eirik. Arsenal leading against Brighton, Brentford leading against Bournemouth here in our game, but goalless between Burnley and Everton, between Liverpool and Wolves, that does surprise me, and also between West Ham and Fulham.
Yeah, especially Liverpool and Wolves. Everyone expecting a big Liverpool win there, but Wolves. They
did all right against Arsenal away from home a couple of weeks ago.
It was a last-minute own goal. There was 2 own goals in that game, I think, for Arsenal. So so I'm looking at this Wolves team. The players they have they're not really bad players. They're just a very bad team.
They just seem to be all over the place. And you mentioned that an injury to the goalkeeper, Bournemouth might need a bit of a timeout. Well, now Lewis Cook is sat down on the ground around about the halfway line. So both teams have used this as a little bit of a timeout, just like in the COVID days where the teams had to have a bit of a break after 20 odd minutes. And we'll see exactly what's happened here to Lewis Cook. We're just seeing the turn from Igor Thiago, which allowed Brentford to then take the lead after a fabulous through ball. Interestingly, just going back very quickly to the game between Liverpool and Wolves, Wolves have had the only shot on target in that game as well, funnily enough, although it is still 0-0. Liverpool have had more efforts on goal, but Wolves have had the only one that's been on target. But Burnley at home to Everton, if Burnley are going to start coming back, that's the kind of game they need to try and win.
Well, Burnley obviously last time they managed to get a last-minute equaliser against Bournemouth, which is a very good point because they did absolutely nothing in that game. Bournemouth should have won it more comfortably, but that was happened. And Bournemouth might be looking at that. Well, we've been completely outplayed by Brentford, but it's only 1-0, and 1-0 is never enough. We all know that in Premier League football.
It's never enough in the Premier League, and it's certainly never enough for Brentford. Brentford are famously one of the worst teams in the last 3 years in terms of letting leads slip. They're also never really been that well designed, either under Thomas Frank or under Keith Andrews, for a side that like to sit back and soak up pressure, despite the fact that both of those managers have tried to get their team to play in that kind of way. So it's going to be an interesting rest of this game, that's for sure. 26 minutes on the clock. We have had a little bit of a break in play. Lewis Cook is now fine to continue. Brentford lead against Bournemouth by a 0-0. The goal scored by Kevin Schade, and the goal coming early on in this first half as well, on 7 minutes after a through ball from Igor Thiago. And it's now a long ball here from Yarmolenko out towards the right hand side, headed down by the Lewis Cook. This is a through ball back towards Lewis Cook. Is picked off though at the edge of the area by Truffert, who then clears it, looking for Eli Krupi, but he's had virtually no service this afternoon. I'll get your thoughts on that in a second, because now Yarmolenko trying to find a ball into the box for Igor Thiago. He was able to get on the end of it, but he was forced out wide. Brentford still in possession it down the right hand side with Lewis Potter getting a nice back heel there from Yarmolenko, but then the ball is intercepted, and Bournemouth are able to clear their lines with Tavernier now playing it out towards Jimenez on the right hand side. He was definitely fouled there by Kevin Schade, surely, but I think the referee has allowed an advantage, because Bournemouth have been able to switch play over towards the left hand side now for Semenyo. Semenyo getting towards the edge of the area, up against Coyote. Now square in towards Lewis Cook, who's passed into Krupi. Well, we were just saying Krupi's not getting any service, and he got some service, but he wasn't ready for it.
It was a terrible pass from Lewis Cook. It's just need to side-foot it into Krupi. It's 7-8 yards away from him, or he needs to go for goal himself instead of making that pass. It's a bit disappointing for Bournemouth, because Semenyo, he's come one-on-one against Coyote a few times today. He's not even tried to take him on and go into the penalty area himself. We all know that Semenyo is very good at that. Coyote is young, still quite inexperienced. Is it centre half or right back?
Coyote he is a right back, more than anything else. But to say it's his first full season in the Premier League, having spent the second half of last season here on loan. So now just Brentford tries to play out from the left-hand side. The last few minutes have been a bit better for Bournemouth. They have seen a bit more of the ball in attack, but now a long throw down the left-hand side has picked out Schade. Schade charging into the box. He's trying to turn inside the penalty. He's not going to get a penalty for that. I don't think he was even asking for one. Bournemouth then are able to get the ball away with Smith finding Senesi. Senesi then finding Krupi. He leaves the ball here now for Tavernier, and Bournemouth are on the attack now down the left-hand side. Tavernier into the penalty area. He's been forced out wide. He tries to force a cross into the box, and it's into the side netting. In the end, it comes to nothing. Yeah,
it comes to nothing. First, Schade again. That was the chance for Schade. It was the ball over the top again, which Brentford is exploiting. But from that clearance from they went straight into attack. But Tavernier was just running towards the corner flag. He never managed to find that space to put the ball into the danger zone. Very, very well defended by Kayode. So defending space there, Kayode. And,
do you know what? I'm just thinking as well. Adam Smith, he's Bournemouth's longest-serving player, but he hasn't been a regular starter in the last season or so. And there's been a couple of moments today where you can see that, where he's just a little bit off the pace.
Yeah, and they're sort of exploiting the whole Bournemouth back line. But that run against Sharda, I think he was favourite to win it, but Sharda just got to the ball first. Luckily for Smith, Senesi and Diakite this time managed to stop the final pass into the danger zone. But yeah, still no attempts from Bournemouth. I don't think we have had a shot from Bournemouth yet. But they're growing into the game.
There was that one very tame effort from Semenyo inside the first minute or so, but that really has been it in terms of any shots on target. There have been a few more crosses into the box since then, but that's not much to show for half an hour against a team that famously aren't that good in defence in Brentford. So Bournemouth really do have to try and do a little bit more to test the home side, who are in possession again here, just playing out from the back. It's Janelt playing that ball into Lewis Potter. Nice bit of link up there with Sharda. Lewis Potter now heading towards the edge of the area. He ignores the run of Jensen, then he puts the ball into Sharda. Sharda with the header. It's a punch away from Petrovic when he had all day to catch that. Brentford have a second chance here now on the left-hand edge of the penalty area. Lewis Potter now in towards Henry. Henry's ball is headed away by Diakite, then volleyed clear by Semenyo and out for a throw. But Petrovic there, I mean, what's he doing?
What he's doing is punching the ball, but obviously no contact, and it's a terrible punch. If that lands straight to a Brentford player, it could be an open goal, and it could have been a shot on goal. It's awful.
It's crazy when you think that he's got so much time to come out and catch that. I mean, it does seem to me that goalkeepers are being taught generally to punch rather than catch anyway, so it's not like I'm trying to reinvent that if that's what keepers are being told. But there, he's got far too much time. I think he should have tried to catch that. It's a long throw now from Kayode. From that resulting throw on, the ball is cleared back into midfield, straight back towards Kayode, who's still on that left-hand side after the throw. Collins then plays it back towards Yarmolyuk, who's now on the halfway line. To Kayode again. Back towards Yarmolyuk on the halfway line, switching that play out towards the right-hand side, now finding Christopher Ayer up against Trufe. Now it's Jensen's ball into the box, just a heavy touch there from Igor Thiago. He gets dispossessed, and now it's Senesi with the ball out towards Krupi, who does really well to turn there against Rico Henry. Henry was fouling him there. Surely there will be a free kick there for Bournemouth after all of that, because I think Krupi might have been fouled 3 times there. Yeah,
it was definitely fouled, but it did really well, because we had actually no right to win that ball, because it was 3 Brentford players trying to get the ball off him, and eventually they had to basically pull his shirt and a bit of kick to his ankle to stop him. But that was very important for Krupi to actually do that turn and not to lose the ball, because then Brentford could have gone 4 against 4 as they have done so many times. But now Smith on the right hand side, a bit of possession in midfield for Bournemouth.
Yeah, absolutely. As Smith just rolls this one inside now to Lewis Cook. Tavernier's dropped a little bit deeper this time just to keep his side in possession. Trufe now on the left hand side. What about long ball? Just plays one along the deck towards Krupi. Exchanges a quick pass with Tavernier. Now it's into Semenyo. Semenyo just plays that too far ahead of himself, and that allows Kayode to slide in, and then Yarmolyuk to take that ball off Semenyo as well. So Brentford now have it back here on the right hand side with the Yarmolyuk towards the halfway line. Under pressure there, Igor Thiago having to turn that one back to Jensen. Jensen straight into Marcos Senesi, who then gets checked there by Yarmolyuk, so it's out for a throw to Bournemouth now on the left-hand side.
Yeah, Bournemouth, I wouldn't say they're growing into the game, but they're not as much under the cosh as they were the first 20 minutes of this game. But like Brentford played with such high intensity, but no teams can play like that for 90 minutes. It just doesn't happen. So it's quite a natural way of the way things are going. But I think Brentford still by far are the better side. They are the team much more likely to get a goal. But just to say that now, Tavernier on the left.
Yeah, nice little link up there with Semenyo. Tavernier into the 6-yard box. His pass is blocked off there by Ayer, and it's out for a throw to Bournemouth on the left hand side. It could have been a lot worse from Brentford's point of view. But Ayer in the right place to get that one away.
Yeah, that's the best crossing opportunity so far for Bournemouth, and it's a poor cross. He almost like to just whip it in and just hope for the best instead of looking out for his teammates. But it's a throw-in again for Semenyo. Will be thrown into the danger zone.
Yeah, he's looking to try and pick out a teammate here, Semenyo. It's over the head of Igor Thiago, the first defender there for Brentford. It's bouncing around inside the 6-yard box. Both teams with their arms up. It was Jimenez saying that it came off a Brentford player last. The referee and linesman disagree. It's going to be a goal kick to Brentford. And we can see a frustrated Andoni Iraola because his side just haven't been clicking it so far in this game.
No, they've been absolutely terrible, to be honest. And I'm just wondering how long this run can go on for Bournemouth before he's actually will be in a bit of trouble with his job. Because it's, they've been doing so well under Iraola, but at the moment they are in a really, really bad run of form. And
they are in a bad run of form. I think to say that Iraola's on... I mean, any Premier League manager's under pressure if their side hasn't won a game in 9 or 10 games. But I think when you think of this game, eight attempts from Brentford to Bournemouth's 2... there's 3 efforts on target to 1. I mean, Bournemouth have actually had 1 more corner than Brentford, but Brentford just look a lot more fluid in this game, whereas Bournemouth just haven't been able to get going. And that's been the issue, I think, for Bournemouth in more than one game recently. So that's certainly something that Iraola has got to think about, as Brentford now win themselves an attacking throw on here on the left-hand side. It's actually level with the 6-yard box, so it's very close into goal. So we know that Coyote is going to switch from right to left, and he's going to launch this ball into the 6-yard box to try and pick out a teammate. And it's a long throw. It actually hits off one of the Bournemouth players off the back, and then it's hooked up in the air. Semenyo is still limping after he was caught in mid-air there, but it's gone back through to the goalkeeper Petrovic.
Yeah, if I were Brentford, I'd just put any ball into the box is defended really, really poorly by Bournemouth. They've got a ball back into the goalkeeper there, but it wasn't because of good defending. It's bouncing a couple of times. It could have ended up anywhere that, and then Bournemouth now just trying to play it out from the back. It goes out for a throw in. That's because of really good press in midfield from Brentford.
Yeah, that ball out to Truffaut is overhit, and it's out for a throw. So just to confirm, 36 minutes on the clock. Unofficial independent off-tube studio commentary where it's Brentford 1, Bournemouth 0. It's also 1-0 to Arsenal against Brighton. Goalless in all the other Premier League games so far. In the 3 o'clock kickoffs in the early game, it finished Nottingham Forest 1, Man City 2, and still to come at 5:30 today. We have Chelsea against Aston Villa. That should be a really good game, actually. Chelsea against Villa. Hard to call that one.
Yeah, obviously Villa is the informed side in division. They're probably favourites to win that game, but you never know which Chelsea team turn up.
Chelsea could turn up and play superbly well, or they could end up losing that game 3-0. You just don't know what's going to happen with that Maresca team from game to game, as Brentford very nearly had 3 players over in a counter-attack. Bournemouth had their defenders very closely bunched together, but they just about cleared the ball. Yeah,
Kevin Schade, if he managed to get that past, I think it was Senesi who managed to get a knee to the ball, then it would have been three players, one again free with the keeper. And they're playing with such a high line, and when you don't have the press on the ball in midfield, they will get punished, and they have obviously been punished. And now Brentford play again. Beautiful football out towards the left-hand side.
Yeah, it's a good ball out from Lewis Potter to find Rico Henry. He then plays it back in towards Nathan Collins, who's joined the attack for Brentford this time. He stepped a bit further forward than normal. Leaves the ball now for Yanel. So over on the left-hand side, Collins is still up for this one, but Brentford have just slowed things down here now. Bournemouth are back with their full 11 inside their own half. Yanel now going on a bit of a run, heading towards the edge of the area. Leaves the ball then for Yarmoliuk. He finds Jensen. Jensen back to Yarmoliuk. Oh, we just took one touch too many, but Jensen wins that ball back for Brentford and he plays it into Schade. Jensen then clips the ball out towards Lewis Potter, who tries to take it down. He wants to go for goal. He's appealing a handball. It's not going to matter whether there was a handball or not, because actually King Lewis Potter was in an offside position.
Yeah, it's given offside but it's good play by Brentford. They're playing real slick passing football, quick combinations just outside the box. And I'm really surprised that as a defending team, Bournemouth, they're not closer to the Brentford players. Like Matthias Jensen twice there outside the box managed to control the ball, and it wasn't an easy ball. It was sort of a half-cleared pass. He was
no, it was. You're absolutely right.
His quick feet technique has been brilliant today.
It has. I mean, it has been a good performance from Brentford. That's why I think they might be frustrated that they're only 1-0 up, because you just imagine that Bournemouth have to play better in the second half. They can't just come out and just go through the motions like they have done for long spells in this first half. Krupi chasing a long ball down the left-hand side, but that's all he's been able to do this afternoon. He almost picks that ball up because it was played back by Ayer towards his keeper. And that ball to Kelleher was just a little bit short. But now a long clearance down the right-hand side is picked out. Igor Thiago into the 6-yard box. Igor Thiago, it deflects up in the air. Oh, it's in the back of the net. Brentford are 2-0 up on 39 minutes. And whether it's Igor Thiago with the goal or it's a deflection off the defender into the back of the net, it won't matter. Brentford have their second goal. And a terrible half for Bournemouth. It just got even worse.
Yeah, and it's been coming since the first minute of this match. Again, it's the ball over the top, and he's got no right to go all the way into the 6-yard box to have a finish one-on-one with the keeper. It's a tight angle. It's a good finish, and I think it was Richard on the far side. He was trying to tap it in, but I'm not sure if he was the last one onto the ball. But yeah, it's a clearance up towards him, and when a clearance means that you go one-on-one with the keeper, it's terrible defending. And it's an own goal in the end.
I think it is an own goal, isn't it? Yeah, because Igor Thiago's shot deflects off the defender, off the goalkeeper, and then it's actually it's that man Diakite again, isn't it? As he's trying to clear the ball off the line, he actually hits it off his own keeper, and then it goes into the net.
Yeah, well, obviously, it hits the head of the keeper first, and then into Diakite. You couldn't make it up how bad Bournemouth's been in this game.
Already looking at a scoring update service that we use, that's been suggested that it is a Petrovic own goal, because it is actually coming off the keeper, on the line.
It's actually cleared, so it's actually not going in, but obviously Igor Thiago, he deserves that goal, because it comes from basically it's a ball. It's saved from defensive saved in their own half, avoiding a throw-in, and it's just booted forward. It's not even a pass, but it's a fantastic run by Thiago on the right-hand side, and it's whether that's obviously. I think Brentford they quite clearly have looked at Bournemouth. This is the way we're going to play, because it's not a coincidence that they get all
no,
these,
absolutely not. But camera just focused on Đorđe Petrovic there, and he was saying a lot of things to himself. Some of it was in English, and obviously that he couldn't broadcast what he was saying, but he wasn't happy. I think he just felt as though he's been hung out to dry a little bit in this first half. Meanwhile, Wolves' brave defensive effort at Liverpool has come unstuck just before half-time, with Ryan Gravenberch scoring the goal there for Liverpool. So it's just 2 goalless games left in the Premier League now. It's at Turf Moor. It's still 0-0 between Burnley and Everton, and it's also goalless at the London Stadium between West Ham and Fulham. But here come Bournemouth on the attack now, with a ball in from Lewis Cook from the right-hand side. It's headed up in the air by Collins, then nodded clear by Rico Henry back into midfield. It's with Lewis Cook again. He finds Alex Scott on the right-hand side. Back in towards Cook. And Cook just turning away. There seems to be, I think for me, the issue with Bournemouth is that their sort of defensive midfielders aren't hooking up with their attacking midfielders often enough, and we're seeing the defenders almost having to play as midfielders. It's just leaving everything a little bit messy, I think, for Bournemouth.
Yeah, they seem almost like they're not actually. They don't seem like a coach team today. Bournemouth, Lewis Cook and Alex Scott, they've not been on the ball whatsoever so far. So you're right. So basically, when Brentford are clearing, it goes all the way back, always back to the centre halves. And Semenyo has been disappointing today, and we've not seen Jimenez at all on the right hand side.
But that's not necessarily all down to them as well. I mean, I agree that when they've had the ball, they've not perhaps done enough with it. But Brentford pushing forward again now, and I can tell you that Liverpool have scored 2 goals in 2 minutes against Wolves. They're now 2-0 up in that game. Just waiting for confirmation of the goal scorers. The Brentford attack comes to nothing. The cross from the right hand side from Lewis Potter is overhit, and it's out for a throw to Bournemouth. But it's Florian Wirtz with the goal there for Liverpool. Hugo Ekitike with the assist in that one. So Liverpool now 2-0 up against Wolves.
Yeah, looking at the bench of Bournemouth players, I think Evan Nilsson might come in. Obviously, he's normally starting for Bournemouth instead of Krupi. Krupi's not done anything bad, but a player like Ryan Christie in midfield just to calm things down. They need someone to just take control of the
ball.
Yeah,
I think either Scott or Cook. I mean, Cook's been injured in this first half. Maybe he'll be going off as we just see Alex Scott playing a diagonal ball to nobody. I mean, the nearest person to that was about 10 yards away in Jimenez. And Jimenez, normally players in that kind of situation encourage them, but Jimenez there, he just turned and said, "What was that?"
It's very difficult not to do that. You're meant to be supporting of your teammates. But Justin Kluivert as well. They need to get some flair on the pitch.
See, but you've mentioned a number of players that they just haven't been doing it since the start of this season. I mean, Evan Nilsson's not been in any form. Kluivert was excellent towards the end of last season, but not so much this season. I mean, he scored a hat-trick at St James's Park last season, didn't he? Hat-trick of penalties, I think it was, wasn't it? Or something like that. But he's not been in the same kind of form as another attack for Bournemouth. There ends with a goal kick for Brentford in the end. Ball just overrun a little bit there by Semenyo. And out for a goal kick. Just over a minute to go before we hit injury time, and it's a job well done so far for Brentford.
Yeah, I think Brentford's been brilliant. It's the tactically, the way they played. You can see that's coached from the dressing room. The press in midfield, and player of the match for me, it's got to be Thiago so far. The way he created the first goal, nice little 1-2 with Janelt before he said put the pass towards Schade, 1-on-1 with the keeper, and he had. Basically created that second goal all himself. Quite lucky to get it into the back of the net with a triple deflection though.
Yes, that's true, but you've got to put the ball in that area to get that triple deflection. And as I say, it's he's probably been guilty of missing a couple of better chances, or certainly one better chance and maybe one opportunity to pass as well. But with 30 seconds to go before we hit injury time, Bournemouth are on the attack now down the right-hand side. It's a decent run as well from Jimenez. He gets all the way to the edge of the area, but he can't quite turn the ball into the box. Combination of Schade and Rico Henry dispossess him, but then Jensen loses the ball at the edge of his own penalty area. Alex Scott, what on earth was that? I mean, that looks like he's trying to shoot there from a very tight angle from 30 yards out there, Scott, on the right-hand side, but it certainly wasn't a good cross.
No, it's basically Bournemouth basically have got every player on the right-hand side of the pitch, if you're looking at it lengthwise, and the ball comes from the right and it just sails over the far post, and it's a terrible cross by Scott, and it's 2-0. I think Bournemouth really need Bournemouth really need half time at the moment.
I mean, I'm just seeing another angle of, we're just looking at another replay. You know, Petrovic, when he stops that first one, when Diakite puts that ball into his own keeper, that ball is going wide.
It is.
So if Petrovic wasn't stood there, it would have missed the goalkeeper and it would have gone out for a corner. But because of where Petrovic is, it deflects off his body and then goes over the line. It's a terrible, terrible own goal. And to say, they don't really do blooper DVDs anymore because it's a different generation nowadays. But if they did, that would be Danny Baker would be all over that.
It could be loads of different commentaries to that one.
Absolutely.
And just a bit of a light-hearted humour. Danny Baker would be phenomenal with that.
Yes, absolutely. I'm certainly old enough to remember those sort of horror videos from back in the day with his unique take on certain comical sides of the beautiful game. As certainly of fans of a certain generation will know what I mean. I think our younger listeners may have to Google or YouTube that one. But it's now free kicks of Brentford on the halfway line, which is played all the way to the edge of the area. It's nodded clear. And now half a chance here for Bournemouth, but that's been a problem for Jimenez as well, that every time he gets the ball, he's got two Brentford players around him. Yeah,
and it hesitates, and Brentford are so quick on the press, and that's it's a classic way of playing. And Bournemouth, they record the same mistake all the time, so they're not actually learning. That's why they actually need half time now, and I can see probably 2 or 3 changes. I'd be very surprised if Ryan Christie's not coming on to this team.
No, it's a fair point. You mentioned Ryan Christie. I think he's certainly someone that they'll be thinking about. Adley as another one who can spice things up in attack is an option as well. So certainly, and Enis Unal, but
it's been very underwhelming.
He's been underwhelming, and if Krupi hasn't had any service, why would Unal be getting the ball? They need something in central and attacking midfield, I think, to try and get things going. From Brentford's point of view, I don't think they need to make any changes at half time. Just wait to see whether or not everybody is fighting fit. But a long ball now. Igor Thiago almost giving that ball away in front of his own box. It's quickly marshalled though by Christopher Ayer. But then Kyoto makes a bit of a mess of trying to clear the ball. So Bournemouth now win it back here with Semenyo. He plays it back towards Senesi. Down this left-hand side now, ball in from Trufair is blocked at the edge of the area and then played back towards Michael Coyote. It's the last final few seconds now of this first half, as the long ball towards the halfway line is nodded forward here by Lewis Cook, out for a throw to Brentford on the right-hand side, even though Krupi's going to try and act like he thinks it should be their ball. But that's going to be it for this first half. The referee calling time on the first 45 here at the GTech, where Brentford lead against Bournemouth by 2-0. Myself and Eirik will be back for you in 15 minutes.